Good morning. Welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole and I'm so glad that you're here. I am currently mixing some paint with my fingers because that's kind of what I felt like doing today. I am going to do for day 11 of the 100-day project, I'm going to do finger painting in the background. And this is the color, um, excuse me, this is the color palette that I picked from the color cube. I'm trying to uh like soften this green. I'm just drawing from the paints that I have at hand, and this one doesn't look it really doesn't look like it's comparable on screen, but it looks a little closer in real life. Oh, I'm getting paint on my card. Um this green here is kind of what I'm going for, but this green is too it's like too vibrant. So I'm kind of trying to sort of gray it down a little bit. I'm going to try and get this darker color and then maybe a lighter version of that as well. But I still think it's too green. One thing that you can do if you're trying to dull a color down is include the color that's sort of opposite on the color wheel. Um, and I don't have a color wheel to grab and show you right now because I think it fell off my desk and it's back behind there somewhere. And I'm not going to get up right now and look for it. But across the color wheel from green is going to be kind of an orangey color. So let me try just a little tiny. Oh, I was trying to shake this earlier because I had another color palette in mind. And so I was trying to like shake this up and it wasn't closed all the way. And look what I did. Look what I did to my, I splattered, um, yeah, I splattered paint all over the place. Oh, that's a lot. This is very thin paint, this color. So let's see how that really dulls the color down. Um, and I actually like that better than what I was doing. But I've done so much like smearing around that now the paint is like super light. Like it's not a very heavy um like puddle on the page. So now that's a little too greeny browny. Excuse me and the coughing. I thought I had coughed all the coughs there were to cough, but apparently I have more in me. I don't know. I'm just playing with color right now. I just have my fingers dirty. I don't feel like doing a whole lot. I'm still not feeling great, honestly, but life must go on. I'm taking a bunch of students hiking in the mountains in 2 days. So, like I might as well get up and get some stuff done now. It's not gonna life isn't gonna go away just because I'm not feeling great. All right, that's pretty dark. This is a pretty dark version. So I might grab a little bit of white so that I can lighten part of it up. Because I want a lighter version of this. I'm just going to smear a little bit of it over here, smear it into some white to get a lighter version. All right, so I'm just finger painting on my page. This is day 11, a finger painting background, and I'm here for it. I'm just going to smear the color on my page. I really am not sure how this is going to go, and I might hate it. This color palette is not making me feel super inspired. I liked it. Ooh, I liked it here. But we'll see. I'm probably just not doing a very good job of recreating it. I'm going to get my hand wet a little bit. Oh, we're just making a mess. And that will help me. I should have gessoed this page first, but I didn't. Get some of this lighter color on here. I think I should just mix it right on the page. I think pulling it off of the palette book and onto the page is maybe where I'm making my mistake, because as I mix it, I'm kind of like smearing it around and I'm losing like the paint itself, because the paint is sort of like on the book in the background. So maybe, all right, I'm going to go in with some straight gray. I'm going to use this gray for this darker color here. I'm just going to add in some layers of dark. One thing that I love about finger painting is that you really don't have a whole lot of control. And so it forces you to let go. And, so much of the time when we sit down to make art, we have some idea in our head of how it's going to turn out. And then we feel either successful, or we perhaps feel disappointed if we don't achieve what we set out to accomplish, right? If it doesn't end up looking on the page the way that it did in our minds. And when you choose a technique like this, where you have very little control, and honestly, many of the techniques that I choose do have an element of unpredictability to them. I tend to prefer that because it's a great way to practice letting go of our expectations. I am absolutely loving this silver on the page. And this is not my style of art typically at all. This is not the kind of background that I would normally make. And that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about doing this 100 days of art journaling techniques, because I do want to sort of get out of the rut and do some different things maybe that I don't normally do. The color cube also helps with picking color palettes that are not my typical color palettes. So I think on many levels, this page, this process is about letting go of your expectations and just seeing what happens on the page, and then kind of like leaning into the parts of it that you love. And maybe there are things about it that you don't love. You can learn from that as well. I often say in my in-person classes at the end of an art journaling session, I'll say, like, what did you learn? And maybe what you learned was, I don't like this color, right? Or that didn't work the way I wanted it to. And that's fine if, like, as long as you're learning something about the process and about your own creativity. I am loving this. Again, it's not at all what I normally would do. I'm having such a good time. I wanted to try and make this a quick video and move through all 5 days. I was going to do them all in one video, but this has got me kind of enchanted, honestly. I just want to keep playing with the paint in the background and how these colors are sort of like mixing and blending. I am just having a blast, and I can't wait. I'm going to pull in some of this pink here in a minute, because that was really the surprise breakout of this color palette for me, is this pink color. It's, in the picture, it's sort of like the sunlight coming through into the trees, and it is this gorgeous pale pink. And so I grabbed this pink initially because this is closer to the color on the card. But then when I was pulling my color palette or my palette book out, I found this page where I had just used a bunch of this color shift pink, and kind of was using it in another project, and I'm kind of loving that. So that's inspired me to grab that color. And if it doesn't match the card entirely, that is fully okay with me. I have no expectation of oh, that was a lot of silver there. I guess we're gonna have more silver on this page than we thought. And that also is okay. Just smearing it around. And I'm trying not to create, I mean, you can create like stark color blocks like this, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm kind of trying to make the, oh, and there's a lot of, I'm going to go back in with another layer of kind of this darker color. Maybe I'll go straight in with some green and see if, I don't know, that might not work. That's a lot, that's very green on the page. You see that green? Too much green. Nope. Nope. But I wouldn't know unless I tried, right? Oh. All right. All right. I am do I have any other of this color over here? Not really. So it's too much red. I didn't want the red on there. All right. I like it like this, but when it's in the light, it's too much silver. Like it takes away from the color in the background. So I'm just gonna go back in and cover up just a little bit of that. I want a little green. Maybe I'm just making excuses to keep playing with this. I just want to keep adding layers and layers. The white looks good on it. It's very kind of surprising on this stormy background. That's what it looks like to me, stormy. It's definitely not giving like deep forest. For me, it's more stormy night. That's what's kind of happening here. Okay, if this hasn't inspired you to go do some finger painting, I don't know what will. This has been so much fun. You have to go try this. Give it a shot. Go get your fingers dirty. There's nothing like it. All right, I'm going to try this pink paint. I'm going to put it on the palette. Oh, there we go. Just to make sure that it wasn't dried in there. I'm just going to put tiny little... I always like to start with 3 areas on a page. Like if I'm going to add in a contrasting color, or I'm going to bring in something that's a little different from the rest of the palette, I always like to aim for 3 areas on the page. Create a little triangle of interest. I think that's a good way to draw your eye across the page. And then if it needs more, it needs more. I think it needs more. I'm going to go with this color, this shimmer color shift color instead. Just put a little bit of it over here and then dab into it. I'm sort of staying with the pink that I had before on the page so that I'm not putting too much pink elsewhere. I'm trying to stay in these general areas. You can really see that color shift, can't you? Again, I think it's the unpredictability of it that I like so much. That the color shift. You can put it on the page one way, and then, when you tilt the page, you get something completely unexpected. Or not, maybe not unexpected, because we know what the paint does, but it just changes the way you see it. It's a different perspective, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Forget the philosophy and just get your fingers dirty. That's all we need to do. I want this to kind of like trail off the page a little bit. All right, I'm overworking this just because I'm having so much fun, but this is the background I'm going to go with. It looks a little messy. It looks a little dark and stormy, but I kind of like these little pops of pink happening here a little bit. They're a little muddy, to be honest with you, because I layered them over the other colors, but I don't want them to be too much of a contrast with the background. So I'm going to just leave it like that, and we'll see what develops as we build in our other elements. So that was day 11, and I'm going to mark finger painting layer, which is prompt number 20, off of my list. I'm going to move on to mark making, and one of the things that I wanted to try here was the stippling, which is really just adding dots in patterns on the page. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to use a brush pen instead of that pen, because I don't know how that's going to do. And so I'm just going to add clusters of dots. I don't love the brush pen. I don't love it. I don't love it. So I smeared it off and you can't see it as well, which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Let me see. This one's got kind of a stiffer nib on it. This one does better. Okay. Let me bring you down. You can see. Can you see the dots that I'm drawing down here? Hard to see. All right, I'm gonna maybe I'll speed this part up so you don't have to watch all the dots, but I'm gonna just scatter some little stippled dots across my page. And I'm gonna try to aim for, again, sticking with the theme of unpredictability. I'm going to try and aim for shapes that are unpredictable. I'm not going to do geometric shapes. I'm going to have the dots kind of wander around in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Okay, so here's the stippling that I've added to the page, just some mark making in kind of random places around the page. So I'm going to mark off stippling. And then what are we doing for that was day 12. So we've got a day 11 was the background, day 12 was the stippling, and then day 13, because I'm just doing a bunch of days at once. Since I have been sick, I haven't been spending a lot of time in the studio, and I'm getting ready to travel out of town for a few days. So I know that I won't be doing a whole lot of recording this upcoming week as well. So I'm going to do the whole 5 days and just finish a page. So I've got background and I've got mark making. So now I need to do focal image, mixed media layering, and text and captioning. So I think I was thinking I might want to do just a face. Today I was kind of feeling like I might do a face using a Stabilo all marker and maybe some little paint highlights. So mixed media self-portrait is prompt number 91. So this might be the one that I work on for a focal image, but I may want to do my mixed media and layering before I do my focal image. Ta-ta-ta. So I think I don't want to put a whole lot on this page, but I'm feeling kind of drawn to this button or bead embellishments stitched in. And for some reason, and I don't really understand why, I have this impulse with this book, like where I cut out into the page here. I want to tear a part of this off and then stitch it back on. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but that's kind of what I want to do. So I'm going to just I'm tearing a corner of my page off, folks. That's what we're doing. And now I'm going to stitch it back on. Because why not make things complicated? That's what art is all about sometimes. I think I'm gonna probably pause this to do, or not pause it, but like speed up the stitching part again, like the stippling, so you don't have to sit here and deal with the monotony of me stitching. I think I want to pull this white because there are some white highlights on the page, and I think the white will really stand out well against the darker colors, and you'll really be able to see the stitching. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use white thread, and I'm going to stitch my page back together. And maybe I'll put a button on here. Oh, good. That's kind of where I was going, and then I kind of forgot that part. Button or bead embellishment stitching. So maybe I'll stick a button on here. Okay, I was looking for buttons, and these were kind of the ones that were in the back of my head when I said that maybe I'll add a button. But I don't really love this color. Like, I don't like the gold. Um, these wooden buttons, the color palette matches a little better, but I don't like these buttons on the page. However, when I was looking for buttons, I ran across these sequins that I bought somewhere, and they are like a dark, I haven't opened them. Obviously got them for 20 cents somewhere at a thrift store or yard sale or something. I don't know how to get into this plastic bag. It's a puzzle. It's a mystery. I'll never be able to close it ever again, that's for sure. These are gonna have to go into a Ziploc. So I don't know about the big ones. What do we think? I mean, it's not what I anticipated at all. But maybe I could use the smaller ones. Ooh, what if we stitch it back together and use some of the smaller sequins? I don't know how I don't know how this is going to go. All right, folks. We are really embracing the unknown today. I have no idea how this is going to work. Let's just check it out. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. All right, folks. This is what I ended up with. It is definitely not what I expected I was going to be doing when I sat down here today to work on this page. This page has definitely been unpredictable. I know I keep repeating that word, but I feel like that has been the theme of the day. Not at all what I anticipated doing, but it's an interesting look. I'm not sure that I love the sequence. Um, I do kind of like the stitched page, although I will say the actual act of stitching itself drives me absolutely bananas. My poor grandma, who taught me how to hand sew, would probably be so disappointed in me. I almost never do it anymore except for art, and my fingers feel clumsy, and I catch the thread on everything, and it definitely felt frustrating. The process itself felt frustrating, but c'est la vie, right? I definitely have a mixed media element now on my page that I didn't anticipate. I just stuck the page together with some washi tape to hold it in place, and then I just stitched through that. So I don't really care if the back of the page still has the washi tape on it. That doesn't matter to me. I think it's fine. My page is bent now, and I need to like flatten it back out. Okay, so I have two elements left. I'm going to do a face with a Stabilo pencil. That's what I decided I wanted to do. So I'm going to use a Stabilo and draw a face. Oh, let's see. Let's mark off button or bead embellishment. And I'm going to have to print a new one of this. It looks like somebody bled all over it. This is terrible. It looks awful. All right, we'll print another one of this one. Focal image. I guess it's going to be a mixed media self-portrait. I don't know that it's going to be particularly self-referential. I'm just going to draw a face. Um, it's actually been a long time since I've done faces. So it's going to be a very sketchy face because it's been a long time. Um, you can tell that it's not a self-portrait because my hair isn't up in a ponytail. Um, right. So I like to aim for kind of a sketchy look when I'm doing portraits. I will say, I'm not great at like a real like lifelike kind of situation. All right, but I've got a face happening on my page, and I'm gonna use just a paintbrush with some water on it. I really need to change my paint water, but that shouldn't matter here. It's just gonna darken some areas of this portrait. I'm highlighting parts of the face and leaving other not highlighting, I guess with the darker color. It's a low light technically. I'm just sketching in some of the details and then leaving the rest of it kind of um developed. So I think I'm gonna do some shadowing here under the face where her neck would be. Give us some dimension a little bit of shading in the hair. Alright, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not very self-referential. I'm not good at making specific people look a specific way unless I spend a really long time working at it. Um, let's get that. Trying to get some shadow happening. All right, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna call it. I might put a little bit of white once this dries. I'm gonna put a little dab of white in the eyeballs, which kind of creates just a little hint of light reflecting off of the pupil. Oh my gosh, my white marker, my whiteout pen isn't just not cooperating at all. Not even a little bit. Oh my gosh, why is this not working? Now it's working too much. All right. That certainly brings her face alive a little bit. I probably will fiddle with it just a little bit. I'm going in with some pen to sort of some of those details need just a little more attention. All right, I'm calling it. I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. I could continue to work and mess with it, but I'm going to leave it at that. So we've got this very stormy background. I don't think that the pink comes through a whole lot, but I like it. I just need to do some words on the page, and I think I might go with um torn paper title strips. So give me just a second and I'm going to get a title and tear it out and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, I am back and I just have spent a couple of minutes browsing through this book. I love to pick up books at thrift stores or yard sales, little books with little bits of wisdom or humor in them. This one is Normal is Just a Setting on the Dryer by Adair Lara, with illustration by Roxana Picadoroff. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. I'm probably wrecking it. But I opened it to this page with this little drawing of a swampy area and it says make a wonderland of your own bog. And I just am kind of loving that. So I'm gonna take this whole page. I'll probably put the rest of the page back in the book and just tuck it in there. But in order to be able to tear it, I wanted it out of the book. I'm gonna tear awkward. I'm gonna just tear this out. Now the second part says it's the only way, but I don't think that that's necessary. So I'm gonna just gonna tear out the first part. I also like that it's on this gray paper in kind of a dark blue writing, which really feels like it fits with the page. Sorry, folks, I had to pause to cough. I feel like I've had to do that a lot. I'm a week into this and I should be over it at this point, but it is just not it's not clearing up the way I wish it would. I do sound better um like in daytime than I do at night or in the morning. So there is that. But All right, make a wonderland of your own bog. I just think that this is such great advice. Like, it doesn't matter where you're living and or what you're in the middle of, like your space, your life, your whatever you're dealing with, make it beautiful, make it fun, make it a wonderland. I just love it. I just love it. So I don't like to just put a single blob of text on a page. I do tend to tear it up, and then I can kind of scatter it around the page a little differently. I'm not 100% sure where I want this on the page. I do kind of like it right here, just sort of playing around a little bit with placement. And I'll glue it down. Well, folks, this was an interesting one. This is not something that this isn't at all what I anticipated working on today. And that's the fun of it, is sometimes it comes out completely different than you ever expected. Um, do I love it? I mean, it's not my absolute favorite page ever, but there are definitely elements on here that I like. Um, this is really an interesting feature. I think it needs something. I think it needs more of this pink, and I want mm, like a frame or a border. So how can I'm going back to my gelatos that I used on this page, and I was gonna see if I had one in a light pink, but I don't, this might be too dark. It's very pink. And this one I think is too like peachy. Well, maybe I can do them both. No, the peach is definitely not it. I'm not a fan. Let's try the pink. I'm just going right over the peach. Oh, you probably can't see what I'm doing, can you? Because of my. Oh. I don't know if this is really going to show up or not. Can you see the pink around the edge? It's a little better. It's a little better this way. It definitely adds a little bit of color to the page. It brings the pink in a little bit more. I don't usually like doing like the pink on the cheeks like this. I know there are a lot of artists that do that, and I don't usually. Um, but I think it works. It's an experiment. We're just trying stuff to see what we like. And we don't always have to like the same thing. We can sometimes like one thing and other times like something different. That's the joy of being human, is that we have the freedom to do that. Um the only thing I feel like I still need to do is add some shadow to the words here. So that they don't feel like they're just stuck on the page. So I'm just gonna kind of do a little stabilo along. I tend to always do the bottom and the right hand side to make it look like a drop shadow. There's lots of different ways that you can highlight your words. Doesn't have to be this one. Um, But I do think that it makes them stand out a little more on the page, and it makes them feel a little bit more connected instead of just sort of being pasted on. All right. All right. I'm still feeling like I want maybe some more contrast in this frame. See what that does. Another pause to cough a little bit. That's so fun. I don't know how having a little cold can make you feel like you're dying. It's crazy. All right, this is not doing what I wanted it to do. I wanted the black to really kind of like pop and stand out, and instead I'm just smearing the pink around. So that was maybe not a win like I thought it was going to be. But I'm going to leave it. I'm going to call it. I'm done. I'm going to stop fiddling with it. I say as I continue to fiddle with it. Okay, really, I'm done. I'm done. I'm putting my hands down. I'm going to write on the back of it the prompts that we used. This was day 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, 5 days all at once. And I'll put the prompts in the video description, but I believe we did prompts number 20, prompt number 71, prompt number 56, 91, and I seem to be missing a page. Where's my other page? And did I say 56? 56, 71, 91, 20, and 24. That's the last one that I did. All right, those were my prompts. Here's my next 5 of my 100 days. I hope you enjoyed this, folks. I hopefully we'll be back soon with the next art journaling techniques that we're going to explore. So subscribe. I promise I won't be coughing in every video. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you later. Thanks so much. Bye.